Hello, everyone. My name is Zulfiqar, and welcome to another episode of Income Investors. With me today is John Whitefoot. But before we talk about the income picks, I want to let you know that anything you hear in this video is for information and educational purposes only. Nothing in this video should be taken as personalized investment advice. Investing comes with risk. To read more about it, please see the description below. And if you want to read more about what John writes on a regular basis, you could head directly to www.incomeinvestors.com. While you're there, you could also sign up for some free reports that we offer to our readers, and they get mailed directly to your inbox. Crude oil has been moving considerably higher since July 2023, rising from roughly $70 per barrel to more than $90 per barrel as we speak. Despite this big move, there's an inherent volatility with oil, since prices can rise and fall on foreign policy, economic data, and etc. One way to leapfrog this volatility is with midstream stocks like MPLX LP, traded on New York Stock Exchange under symbol MPLX. As a tollkeeper to oil and gas industry, they have less exposure to volatility in commodity prices, which makes them historically great long-term plays for both income and growth investors. John?
Yeah, thanks, Mo. MPLX is an oil and gas midstream company formed by oil and gas behemoth Marathon Petroleum Corporation. The Findlay, Ohio-based company owns and operates midstream energy infrastructure and logistics assets and provides fuel distribution services. Its assets include a network of crude oil and refined product pipelines, an inland marine business, light product terminals, storage caverns, refinery tanks, docks, loading racks, everything you'd associate with a midstream stock. The company also owns crude oil and natural gas gathering systems and pipelines, as well as natural gas and natural gas liquids processing and fractional facilities in key U.S. supply basins.
John, I was reading that it reported record adjusted EBITDA and distributable cash flow.
Yeah, you're correct. During the second quarter, MPLX announced that net income increased 6.6% year over year to $933 million. Adjusted EBITDA rallied 5% to a record $1.5 billion. Now, during the quarter, the company generated $1.4 billion in net cash by operating activities and adjusted free cash flow of $1.1 billion. Distributable cash flow advanced 6.3% to a record $1.3 billion, or 0.775 per unit.
And it recently hiked its distribution for 11 consecutive years?
Yeah, thanks to strong distributable cash flow growth, which has expanded at a compound annual growth rate of 6.8% since 2019. MPLX has been able to return significant capital to shareholders. In the second quarter alone, it returned nearly $800 million of capital to unit holders. This past July, it declared a quarterly cash distribution of 0.775 per unit, or $3.10 on an annual basis, for a inflation thumping yield of 8.83%. This represents a 10% increase over the 0.075 per unit paid out in the second quarter of 2022. MPLX, as you had noticed, has actually raised its annual distribution every year since it went public in 2013. That means that even during the worst economic crisis in 100 years, MPLX was able to increase its annual dividend. Better still, in 2021, it also declared a special dividend. And frankly, there weren't a lot of companies doing that during the pandemic. Moreover, before the pandemic, MPLX had actually raised its quarterly dividend for 28 consecutive quarters. And I presume the only thing that got in the way of that record was COVID. Now, it held its payout at 0.6875 per unit in 2020 and the first half of 2021. It's been raising pretty regularly since then, and there's every reason to believe that MPLX will continue raising its annual dividend. The distribution coverage ratio is 1.7 times, and the payout ratio is a low 76.71%.
And John, if you could talk a little bit more about MPLX stock, how is it performing?
Well, what's better than a reliable income machine? One that also provides strong share price gains. As of this recording, MPLX stock is up roughly 16% year to date, 30% year over year. It's actually up 660% since bottoming in March 2020, and it's up 110% since the start of 2020 as well. That's just before the pandemic. Now, the big gains in 2023 are worth championing, but the outlook for MPLX stock remains even more robust, with Wall Street analysts providing a 12-month share price target in the range of $41 to $45 per share.
John, thank you so much for your analysis. Energy stocks were the biggest winners in 2021 and 2022, while 2023 started out slowly. Oil and gas stocks have rebounded significantly. And MPLX has been one of the biggest winners. It has a large and a growing midstream energy infrastructure and logistic assets, and is reporting strong financial results. Thanks to strong business performance and lower capital spending, MPLX has been able to generate exceptional cash flow, allowing it to maintain a growing ultra-high yield dividend and continuing buying back shares. That's it for today. We'll be back with another income pick soon, so stay tuned. In the meantime, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Goodbye for now.